All right, guys, what it do? It's your boy, Better Than Before, helping you be better than before. I'm going to talk about the 70 days. I'm kind of around that 70-day mark. I'm actually don't really know for sure, but I know that 3 weeks ago I did 45 days, so I must be around that 70-day area, so that's what we're working with. Man, I'm so happy that I made it this far. Yeah. I feel like I got through recently a really hard part. No, but for real, I remember back in like my 30 or 45 day video, I was talking a little bit about how I kind of like was hitting this wall around 30 days where like the urges were just crazy, motivation was low, energy levels were kind of all over the place. I definitely wasn't experiencing that same like boost that you get in the first week or so, like that you get when you're like a week in, you're like, oh my God, I feel so great, right? Because that's just like that's a little taste of what you get in the end. But at 30 days, I hit this wall. And then around like 45 days, I started to peak again. And I started to feel like really confident, really energized. I think that's just a good expression of just like how our emotions are. Like they kind of just go in waves, right? Like sometimes you peak, sometimes you go down, and all that jazz. But to kind of share a little bit about like what's been going on recently, I feel really good about being at 70 days because we recently went through this wave again around like 60 days in. Maybe it was like a couple weeks ago or like a week ago, we started to kind of dip down again. And, the urges were really crazy. And I really was just looking to like get laid. Like that was like, I was like, the only way I could release this is to like go with a girl, right? And I like downloaded Tinder, met up with a couple girls. What happened was I kind of got catfished a little bit. Not catfished, but she was a little bigger than the picture. Guess what? That's what happens with online dating, right? Like, they never look like the photo. They never look like the photo. Like, most of those people, they're like either just looking for validation or they're bots. Even if they're verified, they're bots, they're spam, they're trying to get money out of you. There's a lot going on. It's like a business, Like if you look up business courses for OnlyFans girls, they teach the girls to use dating apps to advertise their OnlyFans and to advertise their Snapchat, advertise their OnlyFans. Like, it's a business model. It's like an actual business. So, expect to get catfished, So, and decided to actually just completely, and she was actually pretty cool. She was a cool person. She looked good. She was pretty. She was like, had like a really like attractive energy about her. She was very like feminine. And she was like a cool person to be around, but just a little too big, just a little, like just barely passing the surface. And I was kind of like, okay, like maybe I can make it work. And then I just started to think about like, what am I even doing Nofap for? So I can like relapse with some 7, you know what I mean? And this is kind of where it was coming in with that higher standard video. It's like, eventually it comes to the point of like, what are we doing this for? What are we doing Nofap for? We want more success in our lives. But like, ultimately, what's going to become helpful one day is that you have that control over your sexual urges to the point where you can be mature, you can be masculine, and you can be energized around like a girl that you think is really freaking attractive, and that is actually really cool and really chill. And like, there are people out there like that are into like similar things as you, that kind of want to rock with you. Eventually it's about getting like someone that is like actually like fucking good for you, and not being toxic for you. And if you settle for 7, then you're gonna get 7. But I think that there is something about turning, I'm gonna just continue on with retention. I'm just gonna keep retaining, and I'm just gonna go back to focusing on myself. And that's why we're back to making videos, baby. And we're trying to get back on that grind and just continue trying to like better the situation. I actually have a book coming out that's going to be fucking awesome. This is a book that I wrote last year. It was, I was telling the story a little bit about how I was, with a girl for like 3 years, and then she poofed out of nowhere, and all of a sudden I went from being like this, badass with her to like, oh my God, please take me back. Please take me back. It was stupid because what happened was you started to get the addiction towards the actual intercourse rather than fapping, right? That's how powerful, ejaculation is, So these are always things that we have to consider, like what is worth our seed? What is worth the energy release that we're going to have? What is worth the blue balls if you're not going to release, What is worth it? You have to know what that's worth to you. And being able to let that go, it allows me to move forward, and I feel this sense of confidence because I just blocked her on everything, right? I was just like, you know what? I don't even owe her an explanation. I know her for like a week. Just cut her off. Let's just go. Let's move on with our lives. And there was immediately a sense of like feeling good about myself because I wasn't settling for less. There's something about not settling for less that then creates new ideas, that creates new thought patterns, that helps you then create new ideas that you can put into your life. And I think that that's what an amazing thing is about this Nofap thing, is that you have the control over it. Like you're not going to let somebody else control your life because like I'm doing one of the most difficult things ever. I'm a guy, every morning, every night, we all been through it when you're just freaking boing and you just want to just rub one out real quick, but you don't do it. Like, and then people think you're crazy for it, right? But like there's a truth to it. There's an energy to it. There's something great that comes from it. It really is, getting past those moments of like, oh my God, I really want to do it, and then not doing it. It's like joy. It's joy. It's joy after a while. Like, I don't actually need this. I don't. So that's kind of the thing that I'm starting to recognize here at 70 Days. Now, one thing I do know is probably in the next couple weeks or so, I'm probably going to go right back down. I'm going to probably have another little problem. I'm probably going to have more urges and stuff like that. I'm probably going to have that rationalization come back in. Oh, you could see this chick because whatever, you could just do it yourself because you've been like working hard or whatever and you deserve it and stuff like that, right? Like that's that rationale talking. We never want to listen to that. I think David Goggins calls it the governor. So don't listen to that. Need some water. Holy shit. So, all right. Another thing that I noticed big time around this point is the addiction to dopamine is still there. And this was something that I was recently struggling with, and I feel like I'm conquering again. When you're on Nofap, your brain tries to get the dopamine from other things. So that could be checking social media, that could be eating sweets, eating McDonald's, that could be, anything, watching TV, watching movies, scrolling on YouTube, like doing those things, they give us a sense of dopamine. Even watching this video now, it gives us that hit that we get from the PMO. But the PMO is the absolute most dopamine spiking that you can get. So you'll never be fulfilled from anything else. So your body might like really crave like just wanting to like binge watch Netflix while eating like sugary food, but you don't engage in PMO. So it becomes like a cycle of like letting yourself do these things because you don't do Nofap. And that's kind of what happened with social media, where I just kept checking social media obsessively every day, in the morning even. And I never used to do that because my body is craving that dopamine. It wants that release. It wants that hit. And, I think it's just an important part of the process to just recognize that for what it is, and then start to just try to transmute that as much as you can. I think the most important thing that I can give to anybody is to just lock down your morning. The morning sets everything up. If you're snoozing, if you're checking your phone right away, if you're not doing productive things in the morning to like get your day going, I think you're gonna fail. I think you're gonna fail just like mostly everything. Even if it's not like the success or the amount of money that you make or whatever the case may be, or the girls, I think in more areas of your life, you're gonna see more failure and less success if you don't lock down your morning. So what I do every morning is I wake up, I drink water. This is like this is the best. This started getting broken up a little bit. I started checking social media like in my bed as soon as I woke up, and I never used to do that. It's so strange. But today, and I'm back on this, I'm trying to get back on the cycle, is waking up, drink water, cold shower, meditate. This all probably takes like 35 minutes. Make my bed, tidy up a little bit in my room, just make sure I'm like a little organized. Get a cup of coffee going, pull up a journal, start writing down some of the things that I want to get done for the day, and then just beginning that process of following through. A big thing I also do usually after I do that is work out, or sometimes I'll get my things done, then work out a little bit later in the day, and then go about it in that fashion. So it kind of just depends on how my body is recovering and how my body is feeling from like doing sports and lifting weights and all that jazz. So that fits in, and that's a really important part of Nofap too. Like I said in that other video, it's about like transmuting your energy out, especially physically, right? You can transmit your energy out like mentally through the work of creativeness, through working, building a project, whatever the case is, but you also need to expel that physically, which comes from exercise, working out, boxing, whatever it is that you want to do to relieve that physical stress. So anyway, guys, that's the update. That's pretty much what's been going on. Let me know what's been going on. Keep an eye out for Transitions, the book, How to Change, Step-by-Step to How to Change Your Life. It's really well detailed, and I think it's going to help you guys out a lot. I share a lot more about my Nofap journey. So with that to say, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll tune in next time.